What's going on YouTube? It's Donnie all day, bringing you a pretty cool budget fixed knife. And they were able to keep this knife budget by just budgeting out the sheath. The sheath still works 100%, just not pretty. It's not your typical Kydex sheath, and it's not a cool leather sheath. It's nylon, but it's a 100% effectively working nylon. It's actually a stiffer nylon, so it's not going to fold on you. It feels a little like padded in there. But this right here is the reason that this right here is $32.99. But beyond $32.99, I believe there is a 25% discount code if you follow below. I'm going to put the Amazon link to it, the link with the code. The code is pretty simple. It's 25 Don 158. So you'll see it down below. But check this thing out, man. This is kind of funky. It's kind of funky. This keeps the price down. That's all it does. That's all it does. So let's get into this, man. So this is the Dispatch. It's a Dispatch survival knife, and we have a G10 handle, 8CR13 MOV steel, and they put it out there as like a camping hunting knife. So there are some good and there are some bad, and I will tell you the overall aesthetics is pretty cool. It's actually kind of funky. This, you don't ever see this right here. You see where this comes up and then goes in, and then this part is fatter than this part, but not this part because it's not round, and then the swedge comes in on almost what would be like a spear point if this wasn't cut. It's really different. I'd say all the time, no matter who designs what knife, it's most likely already been done before. I haven't seen this before. This one is funky, so this is going to be like an original design. You can see that these inserts here are concave, so you can put your fingers in there and lock them up. The G10 feels really nice. You can see if it's going to show the texturing inside. I don't know if I have enough light, but we're going to go outside. Oh, there you go. We'll go outside. You have a lanyard hole in there. You have this crazy jimping all the way around. It's kind of like a zombie apocalypse EDC, you know what I mean? But here's where I have my issues that most likely won't be an issue for you. My hands are ginormous. The inside grip here is too small for my hands. I have 2X hands. If you have medium, well, even small, medium, large, to even maybe extra large hands, I think you're probably going to fit. Maybe not extra large. I'd say maybe small to large, because if I put my hand here, my pinky does not want to hit that. I can rest it on the outside and choke down on my grip, and that would be fine. And then I can use the choil. Again, the problem is I have giant hands. So this choil, I was working on my Harley, man, doing some custom. That's why I'm all dirty, I promise. But the choil is a little small for giant hands. So if you're using the choil, you're putting your finger on that edge. Here's the deal, though. It's not affecting me. I have my finger on the edge. I'm squeezing. You can see the colors of my fingers. Look at that. You can see how pink it is. Squeeze. There you go. Release. Squeeze. I'm not bleeding. It's not tearing me apart. So it's A-okay. For me, it's kind of a wild knife. I think a lot of people would like this just because of the ergonomics, and a lot more people are going to like it because of the price. I don't know how sharp it is. Oh, crap. I dropped it. Okay, so it popped some hairs. Is it crazy shave sharp? No, which is weird because Dispatch, I have a lot of really good luck with their edges. You can see there's some hairs inside all that dander. So it is popping hairs, but it's not crazy shave sharp. But we're going to find out if it has to be. We're going to take it outside and start cutting stuff up with it. Oh, the specs. It would be nice if I gave you the specs. So it has a Rockwell of 5860. The knife is obviously full tang with gray titanium plated process. That's the coating. It is a 3.84 millimeter thick blade, so it's just about 4 millimeters. The blade itself is 5 inches, and overall, I think it is 9, somewhere in there. I remember seeing it. Somewhere in there, it's around that price. Around that size. And lucky for me, I came prepared. So we are looking at, it's got a 10-inch overall length. And that's because you have a nice deep heel there. So let's take it outside. All right, so now that we have it outside in the sun, you can get a better look at it. The thing is funky, man. That is a funky looking knife. It's the only way I can describe it. It's kind of like a whale shark or something. It's just wild looking. All right, so let's cut. All right, let's check this thing out. It's for a knife that's a little small for my hands. When I do choke up on that grip, I have to say that it's kind of comfortable because it's just slab-sided grips. So it's as simple as it could have been made, which I can appreciate for that. So let's take it and, first here, let's do this. I got some threading over here. Let's take that, push this through there, possibly. Here we go. So that was going to be easy. Now we're going to quadruple it up and give it a nice spin there and make a nice rope. We'll see how this thing does. And I want to cut with the tip, and that was super, super easy. Remember, just because it doesn't shave hair doesn't mean it's not sharp. A lot of knives that will cut through paper real easy will not shave. Shave sharp is just a different level of sharp, but this thing right here, that is popping. So this, hands-free, is just sharp. It is cut sharp. This is like use it sharp. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Let's see, make sure the edge is nice and strong. Nice hard wood. Chop that down a little bit. Nice stiff stuff right here. This is the hard stuff. Hard, dry Arizona wood. Man. All right, so I'm actually swinging. I'm hitting it. And this wood is no joke. I know it's not a giant piece of wood, but it doesn't have to. You're not hitting an entire piece of wood when you hit a piece of wood. You're hitting a straight line. And this line is going straight through. So let's check this. So the spine is 90, so you can strike a ferro rod with it. Let's see. Yeah, man, that stuff is hard. That is some hard, dry wood. Wow, it's making some really tiny, thin curls. You can see them. I don't know if you can see them. They're blowing because it's a little breezy. But they are blowing away. I'm trying to keep as many as I can on here to show you. But those guys right there, great tinder. Let's see if we can't get some pullbacks. This big fat blade is really good for a side grip. I'll tell you that. So let's see. Oh, those curls are like microscopic. They're so fine. And when you're doing this and they're all dropping right in front of you, like right now they're on my wrist, you'd put that down and you'd bring it into your little pile, and you're gonna have a fire lit really, really easy. This thing is the edge geometry seems to be working out really well for that kind of cutting. That is really well, because that is some seriously thin, wonderfully thin curls, and that is absolutely great when it comes to bushcrafting. So after beating on it, and I wanted to beat on some wood before I tried my next cut, just to see, because a lot of people like to complain about 13 CR MOV, and they complain and they say, oh, you can't use it because it dulls right away and blah blah blah. Well, I don't know, it seems to still be cutting. So remember, what happens is some moron will write something in a forum somewhere, and then other morons will read a forum and then believe everything the first moron said, and they will tell you that if a knife steel is a certain knife steel and it's no good and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, don't trust your life to a knife in emergency then. You know what I mean? It's like, if I'm out right now and I'm in an emergency situation and I need to cut a hose in my car or just survive, get a fire going and survive, you think I'm going to complain about the steel choice if it's working? And look at that. That was amazing. And that's the problem, is they don't seem to care that it works. They just care what somebody told them, and now they think they have all the answers when they never really do. But let's see here. Can you skin with it? Oh, look at that. So leather, rubber, no problem. This, again, is something that knife snobs will tell you that this knife can't do. They'll tell you simply, because of the steel choice, it can't do what you're physically watching it do. Look at this. This is a cutter. So as a survival knife, I can absolutely see where it would come in handy. You can do all your camp cooking, stuff like that with this, even eating, because it's so fat. You can scoop and eat, remember, the edge away from you, especially with that swedge. It would make it very easy to scoop up your food and eat. The fact that it just absolutely breezed through that basketball was really nice. So for guys that have to open big packages and wow, that was super simple. And crates and things like that, no problem. No problem. I mean, right there, let's do another one. Right there, let's do another one. This thing, tell me where it's faulting. Tell me where this steel isn't doing good. People love to talk, but they never love to know what they're talking about. And this steel is one of those, this knife is one of those ones that just shuts people up. It just shuts people up. You have an opinion, but based on nothing. So this hard plastic garden hose, well, it used to be rubber, now it's plastic. That's what happens when rubber gets cooked. It turns to plastic. Look at this. Cutting real thin. Real thin. That's plastic. That's a hard rubber. Look at that. It's just eating straight through it. It's hard for me to diss on a knife and to talk about a knife poorly when it functions. The whole point of the knife is for it to work. And if you have a knife and it's working, does it really matter what the steel choice is? One of the good things about this knife is I know that I can field sharpen it. And it's one of those bless you knives. So I can field sharpen it. I can shave, I can sharpen sticks, things like that. So I can make my tent spikes and pit spikes and hot dog sticks and marshmallow sticks. I can do everything I'm going to need to do with this knife. It's just not going to fail. 25% off of, what was it, $34, something like that? Are you kidding? Go wrong. Find something better at that price, or find something like, that this can't equal to. It's even got a hollow grind, so it's going to have that really easy sharpening ability. Hold on. So the difference between a knife like this and one of those super steels that it's incredibly hard, I can absolutely, you hear that? Field sharpen with a stone. That is lovely. Get the tip. And remember, after you use a knife, if you hone it up, it will always stay sharp. This thing right here, let's see if it's going to pop any hairs. Oh, I may have made it just sharper. Look at that. I think I made it sharper than when it came out here. With a stone. It was popping hairs, but it wasn't shaving. And now I'm actually getting a little bit of a shave. So it's just one of those things where sometimes the wrong steel is the right steel when you need to survive for a long time and you don't have all your gear. If I walked out of the house with this knife on my belt and just left, and then ended up in a situation, like there's hairs all right there, ended up in a situation where I needed the knife to survive, and I'm thinking to myself, crap, but I don't have my bag, I don't have my ferro rod, I don't have my sharpeners, I don't have this, I don't have that, and I need to use the knife. Oh no, it's going to get dull and I'm not going to be able to use it. No, I'm just going to pick up a rock and I'm going to make it sharp again. That's awesome. That's freaking awesome. So, yeah, don't listen to the steel snobs. What you want to do is just look what works. If it works, use it. That's all you need to do. This thing right here, I can tell you right now, it works. It works. We proved it. Check out the code below. Look at the link. 25% off of that price. Guys, this is practically free. Goodbye. I am Donnie B all day. Till next knife.